Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Rustam, and today I'm going to talk about a research proposal or synopsis. In my earlier video, the previous video, I had talked about the six-phase roadmap for BS level research. Now, in this video, I will take up each item one by one. So this is a step-by-step research process, and initially BS students may find a bit conceptual challenge, because concept learning of concepts is not quite easy. So it will definitely present some difficulty and challenge, but as time rolls on, and hopefully students will get used to lot of research lingo, and they will be able to quite easy as they move on to higher semesters. So in the previous video recording, I had mentioned these six phases of research. As you can see, I'm circling them here. So out of these six phases of research, the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4, they are an essential for a BS student, and a BS student has to follow the first four phases, but these two are optional. Last one, writing a research paper and getting it published in a research journal. Okay, now first of all, for any research, the first thing is topic selection and writing a proposal. So this is our today's topic. A research proposal, as you can see here, it has two other names, that is research plan and a synopsis. Although there are minor differences, but usually these three terms are used alternatively, synonymously. Okay, now here I have shown that there are three chapters in a research plan or in a proposal. As you can see here, chapter 1 is introduction, chapter 2 is literature review, and chapter 3 is research methodology. So what is a proposal? Actually, in 7th semester, BS students are taught a subject known as research methodology. It's a 3 credit hour course, and a teacher who is assigned this course, he or she covers it within 48 lectures or 16 weeks of study. So after this, students are directed to select a topic, technically we call it a problem, and then submit their research proposal. So proposal means the student mentions that he or she is going to research such this and that problem, and he or she mentions that this will be the population, this will be the let's say sample size, and this will be the data collection tool, etc. So each and everything has to be stated in future tense, using future forms. So first thing in a research plan is problem or topic. So problem is a technical term. I'll explain it in detail, but practically what is a problem? That it's a gap between, let me write the word gap, between the current undesired, we don't desire it, undesired state, and the ideal and desired state. So let me quickly give you an example. Usually I find it easy, that's why I keep citing it, that uh, usually you have a ceiling fan that is very, in a good condition, and you always love sitting in the air, in the which is produced by this ceiling fan. So this is your ideal state, and one day you find that this ceiling fan has malfunctioned and it is out of order. Now this is undesired state or current state. Sorry. Now you want to get back to your ideal state, in which you always have this pedestal fan or ceiling fan in a very good working condition. Now there is a gap between the ideal state, let's say between the ideal or desired state, and the current or present state. In present state means your fan is not working, but actually you want it to be working. Now there is a gap, as you can see here, there is a gap between the both states. So this gap is known as problem. This is the problem. Now to bridge the gap, to build up a bridge between the current state and the ideal state, bridging the gap is known as solution of the problem. So in order to find this solution, or in order to build up the bridge between this state and this state, this is your, let's say, undesired state. You are not at rest, you are having trouble. So this troublesome state is your current state, and you want to get back to your ideal state, and there is a gap. This gap is known as problem or topic. So to bridge the gap between two states is known as solution. And the steps you take, the effort you make to bridge this gap is known as research. So finding a solution is known as bridging the gap. So let's say in educational environment there is such a gap. So this gap is known as problem, and you have to find the solution. This solution is known as your research. So sometimes selection of a problem or topic is very irritating for BA students, but there are so many problems, educational problems, particularly in the area of ELT, English language teaching, linguistics, or literature, which students can take up. And maybe a research has already been done in other part of the country or elsewhere in the world, but it doesn't mean that our students can't do the research again. Just a minor change, change of population, a change of tool, then some other variables, we can reinvestigate the problem. However, there is a good tip that which type of problem we should select. There are 4 points which I have just mentioned here. Whatever topic or whatever problem you take up, it has to be manageable. Manageable mean that within within one semester you should be able to complete it. So time is a very important indicator. Then manageability also means effort. So you must choose a topic or a problem for which you don't have to kind of tire yourself, like you should be fatigued. So, and the third one is expenses. So your money, don't go for a project for which you don't have lot of money. So the first characteristic of a research problem is that it must be manageable in terms of time, effort, energy or effort and expense. Second one is the problem you select has to be significant. Significant mean that it must contribute. Someone must benefit from your effort, from your energy. You have put in a lot of energy in finding a solution to a problem, a technical problem, an educational problem. So who is going to benefit from the findings? So someone must be there who should benefit from your research, or whatever you have found, it must contribute something to the body of the knowledge already existent in the world. So here a trivial problem should not be chosen. Like let me give you a fun example, that you spend many anxious hours to investigate whether the egg should be broken on the small end or the large end. So in case you find out this great reality, so who is going to benefit from it? So it's not going to contribute even an iota to anyone. So trivial topics should not be taken up for research inquiry. Now third consideration is your problem must meet the ethical consideration. So you should never ever go for a topic or for a problem that is unethical, that is against religion, that is against some set values by the society. So, and last one is your problem should be clear and well defined. Clarity is a very important feature of a research problem. If you let's say if you take up a problem like students don't study, let's say this is a topic, so this topic is not well defined. So the term student has to be defined. What do we mean by students? Whether we mean madrasa students, college student, university student, then we need to be very much specific again, like high school students, first year students, female students. When we say they don't study, what do we mean by study? So the word study has to be defined. So problem has to be defined clearly. Keeping in these four characteristics of a research problem, once a problem has been selected, then we start writing our proposal. And now the proposal has got 3 chapters. So chapter number 1 is known as introduction, chapter number 2 is known as literature review, and chapter number 3 is known as research methodology. Now I am going to explain chapter number 1. This chapter has got these subheadings like background of the problem, statement of the problem, objectives of the study. Study means research study or research inquiry. Hypothesis, it may be one hypothesis, there can be many hypotheses, it can be a research question, one research question, and there can be many research questions. Then we have significance of the study, as I mentioned somewhere here, that what is the significance of the study, who are the beneficiaries. Okay, and last one, delimitations. All these are technical terms and need definition. Each one has a definition. First of all, background of the problem. Let's say we take up a problem that in English language we have a construct known as reinforcement. So reinforcement means that a student learning a language, when they produce some work, let's say they write an essay, and this is their first attempt. So this writing task is brought before the teacher, and if he or she uh, appreciates the work of a student, this is known as positive reinforcement. This appreciation can be in the form of a verbal praise like well done, keep it up, shabash, and it can be in the form of some cash prize. A certificate can be given to a student, a trophy can be given, a cash prize can be given, a medal can be given, his or her name can be written on the in the hall of fame if an institution has got it. A roll of honors is there. So this student, when given such a positive reinforcement, he or she, according to a theory of behaviorism, he or she will repeat the action. That is, he or she will bring back another beautifully written essay, and once praised, his morale will be boosted, and he will again produce another piece of fine art. So positive reinforcement does have a role to play in second language learning. Now you are investigating, this is one hunch, this is one idea, this is one guess, but in order to prove this generalization that reinforcement has an effect, we need to research it, and we just make an hypothesis like this, that students who are given positive reinforcement in the class perform better in English essay writing than those students who are never given any reinforcement. So this is our topic. So, or we can say this is our problem. Now this, whatever I just mentioned, is known as an hypothesis. So this was an hypothesis like this, that students who are given positive reinforcement, they perform better in English writing essay than those who are not provided this reinforcement. So this is known as a directional hypothesis. So in the background of this proposal, a proposal is a document, A4, if you print out A4 pages, and you may have, let's say, 10 to 15 leaves, and you can say 10 to 15 leaves, and containing 20 to 25 pages. So this document has this first chapter known as introduction chapter. So the first part, I mean 1.1, is known as background of the problem. Now background of the problem means that we need to give an introduction to reinforcement. That what is reinforcement? Enforcement. We must talk about behaviorism as a theory in this part of the proposal. Then reinforcement, we must write a paragraph about reinforcement, and then we also should write few things about writing or essay writing, because there are two variables in this topic. One is reinforcement, and another one is writing achievement, essay writing. So essay writing is dependent upon reinforcement. So this is a dependent variable, and reinforcement is an independent variable. These are also known as construct of the study. So we should write 2 or 3 paragraphs about the background of the problem. Like we can say, in our classrooms, teachers are not in the habit of giving any type of praise to our students. They never write well done, keep it up, etc. and then you must mention that according to a theory of learning known as language learning, known as behaviorism, uh, behaviorists claim that reinforcement produces a very good result, and the action is repeated. So you must here mention behaviorism, stimulus, response, repetition, etc., and reinforcement. Then types of reinforcement can be discussed. So 3 or 4 paragraph you have to written under this heading known as background of the problem. Then you will come to statement of the problem. Okay, now this video is going to get longer, so I'm going to stop here, and I will continue this video in the third part. I mean, first part was the roadmap. I just gave you a roadmap here, so please consider this one as lecture 1, and now this one should be treated as lecture 2, and then I will continue from here again, so that will be considered as lecture 3. So this is a step by step learning. So hope you are getting few things from this video. You are requested to this subscribe the channel if you have not already done so, and also press the icon bell icon button or the icon, so that you are notified whenever I upload the third part. Please also share this video with your other colleagues, and some of the students are just shy, and you need to encourage them. They must watch. These are the preliminaries videos. They are going to provide you some sort of grounding and initiation. Later on you can develop your own research skills using these basic terms and basic knowledge. Thank you very much for watching this video tutorial.